Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to visit the Tombs of the Kings, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a place of, extreme, of significant historical importance. We'll find out more when I get there, but I've got a bus to catch, so I'll see you guys when I get there. Let's take a look. Well, I'm just across from the bus station. Seems odd, doesn't it, with a bus station and there's a yacht behind me. So I'll nip across, see which bus it is. I think I know which bus it is. And we'll get down to the Tombs of the Kings. See you shortly. Well, my bus is 6:11 from stop 3. So there we are. They make it pretty easy for you. So this is mine. Let's get on board. Hopefully it's air conditioned. Yesterday's bus wasn't. Let's see. Let's take a look. Well, I'm on board. Sadly no air conditioning. Quite an ageing fleet, but a very reliable bus service, very efficient. I think the journey time's probably 10 or 15 minutes, something like that, depending on the traffic. But I'm really looking forward to this one at last. A bit of history. See you shortly. Well, a 5-minute walk from the bus station, and here we are, the Tombs of the Kings. Certainly this surrounding area here is such a far cry from my memories from 22 years ago. I mean, all the surrounding area here from my memories was just waste barren land. There's been an awful lot of development. I'd say for the better. I mean, you've got everything on your doorstep now. Restaurants, bars, shops, everything. So I was wondering to myself, I mean, I made sure I got drinks before I left the harbour. I was wondering, you know, will I be able to get another drink? Will there be a loo? Will I be able to get some lunch? Well, I've just passed half a dozen restaurants, so what a change. Let's get in and take a look. Well, there's even an ice cream van here. What more could you ask for? Hiya.
Hello, my friend.
So here's the ticket office. Let's go in and find out. I've been told by the ice cream man it's €2.50. Which is certainly very budget friendly. Let's have a look, let's get my ticket. Well, indeed it was €2.50. Have a quick look at that, the Tombs of the Kings. And you can freeze and just have a quick read of that. I've got a little bit more information. Let's explore, let's take a look. Well, here's the first place that's caught my eye. Looks very dark in there and probably a bit cooler. There are QR codes dotted around, so you can scan that and get the relevant information. Let's go in and explore. Sturdy footwear is definitely recommended. And here we are in what I would imagine is a burial chamber with various chambers. The lighting's not good in here, but the camera seems to be doing its job. Various chambers. Oh my goodness. I don't think I'd want to be in here dead, let alone live. Claustrophobia would kick in. Wow, look at that down there. And that one in there. Wow. Let's continue. Well, it's very hot. I would say it's barren, but it's actually quite well planted out with trees and shrubs. So let's just walk down here. I'm not at all sure where to go. I'm just following my instinct. This is a well-trodden path, so let's see where this leads to. Well, it certainly seems to cover quite a large area, flanked by the ocean. There's somewhere over there that's caught my eye. Let's continue. Well, this one's caught my eye, but it looks quite small and claustrophobic, and you know what I'm like. Will I be able to do it? Let's go in and take a look. Again, more burial chambers. I'm literally bending down here. There's the ceiling. The height here of about 4.5 feet, and I'm nearly 6 foot. Wow. Wow, so this is where it all happened. Wow. And some steps going up. I know there's supposed to be quite a splendid burial chamber here. Let's get up these stairs. Oh, I'm bending down, scraping my backpack. Let's go up these stairs. Very steep. You certainly need to be reasonably fit. Oh, and sensible footwear. This is not easy. Wow. But we're up here now. Wow. There's more. There's lots of these little chambers. Don't know if there's any significance of it being so by the ocean. Look at it. Antiquity, and across there, the smart hotels, the modernity. Let's continue. So more steps down here into yet another chamber. I will say straight away, if you've got any mobility issues, this is an absolute no-no. It would be impossible. I'm going to go down there and take a look. Well, here's yet another chamber just down there. It seems to have a sort of stone bridge to get from one side to the other with about a 10-foot drop. So I'm not going to actually go in there, but I'll show you what it looks like. Quite a small chamber, about 15 foot by 15 foot, with that stone bridge there and a fair drop down there. Again, I don't know if the bridge has any significance. Maybe they were more important people, I don't know. But there you are. There's lots of these burial chambers. And I suppose more than big enough to accommodate a dead body. Let's continue. There's a very small one there, maybe for a child. Remember, these were all carved out of solid rock. Oh, it really isn't easy walking. So there's no steps going up there. It's like an atrium. And in there, quite a large burial area, maybe for several people. Not sure. This one's slightly unusual. It's open, it's overhanging. Again, I'm not sure if that has any significance. Well, there's certainly some lovely open space walking along here, but it's very barren. And the footpaths are of a level of, I would say, difficulty. Although the name, the Tombs of the Kings, suggests that kings were buried here, well, in fact, kings were never buried here. It was reserved for the aristocracy and other notable people. So there we go. And this crater-like area is obviously the final resting place of many noble pigs. And just down there, it's a very large burial chamber with an open atrium, and the Doric columns are lovely. Quite breezy up here. So this whole area, containing the many hundreds of burial chambers, is known as a necropolis, from the Greek words necro, meaning dead, and posse, meaning city. So literally, right here is the city of death. Let's get down there and take a closer look. Here they've clearly had to add some modern steps, otherwise it's just too dangerous. Let's go down there and take a look. Truly a spectacle to see. A sight of natural, well, man-made actually, historical beauty. These Doric columns here. It just fascinates me to think, this one here for example, I touched that. That was touched by presumably a man from thousands of years ago, built exclusively for the burial of their loved ones. Let's go through to the darkened area. Another quite large chamber. Again, I don't know the significance. Some of them are very small, obviously single occupancy, but maybe these were for multiple bodies, I don't know. See how they've softened the rocks over the years, distorted. But maybe this was full of bodies from years ago. I just don't know. I think I can actually walk inside this chamber. Let's have a look. Again, you have to be very careful on your feet. Wow, that's a bit spooky. Imagine at night, there's absolutely no lighting at all. It must be quite spooky. But I'm sure there's people that have come here at night just to spook themselves a bit. A slightly longer rectangular one there. And then over here, see there's another little chamber there. They're everywhere. But yeah, pretty spooky. I think the camera's doing a good job here. I'll see when I review the footage. It looks as though it's doing a good job. Wow, that's quite a long way down there. But what's the significance? Why is the other one large and wide and this is long and narrow? I wonder what they had in mind. What's the significance? Maybe someone could tell me. But this chamber, this is the chamber that actually gets a special mention because I think it's the largest with the Doric columns and the open atrium. So yeah, they're probably the most famous burial chamber here. Just look at those Doric columns, absolutely incredible. Doric because they're built for their simplicity and their strength. And yet here's another chamber, covered up obviously, it's literally straight down. I've had a look in there, it's about 50 feet down. So again, what's the significance? Well, that was very enjoyable. It's the open atrium with the Doric columns burial site that I wanted to see most. It really is stunning here, stunning in its barren natural beauty, and everything's carved out. So there's so many burial chambers, but be aware the ground, the terrain is quite taxing. Certainly if you've got mobility issues, it would be absolutely impossible. You need to have a reasonable level of fitness to get around in and out of the chambers. So I've really enjoyed this little visit. So for me, it's time to go a little bit of lunch and get back, start some editing. Let me just spin you around. I always enjoy seeing these when I watch YouTube videos. Round and round and round and round and round. Ah, really enjoyable, well worth the visit. Won't take you long. I mean, you could probably spend, I've been here about an hour, seen more or less everything I wanted to see. As always, everybody, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoy watching my videos, please remember to like, subscribe and hit that little bell for notification of when I upload new videos. This pushes the video out to other people who might be interested in visiting the tombs of the kings, and also helps my channel grow. Many thanks, guys. See you later for dinner. Bye bye.